right, so part one worked, the video uploaded, so here's part two, man. Enjoy. Studio.
So I was in this competition in 2005 in Colorado. Another younger dancer, he was a lot younger than I am, and he asked me to join this competition with him.
Oh.
So I ended up, it's called Rockers Rumble, and it used to be strictly popping and breaking. Used to have popping competitions, breaking competitions. So we were the popping competition. I wanted to advertise my dance studio, so I ended up, there was a Russian girl that I taught some popping to at this gymnastics school, and she was doing flyers for me, for my class. And I was calling my class Boogie Dance.
Oh, nice.
To funk music. It was just plain and simple. I didn't want to add, nobody knew what popping was. Nobody knew any kind of terminology at the time in Colorado, so I didn't want to confuse anyone.
Okay.
So she made this flyer, but in the boogie, the word boogie, the B-O-O stood out. The colors were red.
Nice.
And then she mixed colors up. Kind of like the logo for Living Color and during that time, you know, she was copying that type of style.
Right.
And on the word dance, the D-A stood out.
Yeah.
She had it right next to each other. And the word funk stood out. She made it all one same color.
Right.
So that's where, when I entered the competition, they asked for my name, and I said BOODA Funk, because I wanted to advertise my school that I was putting on.
Right.
So that's how I got the name BOODA Funk, and it kind of stuck around because I like, I like the Buddha. So it kind of fit together.
Nice.
I like the philosophy of Buddhism. I like the peacefulness of it, and I try to incorporate it into my dancing as much as I can. So and I've kept that name ever since. The younger kids that met me, they thought my name was Buddha, so they started calling me Buddha. And everybody started calling me Buddha, and that's how it went.
Nice.
Till today.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Yeah. Did you have any inspirations from anybody like Bob and Andre?
So funny story about Bob and Andre. That competition that I was talking about when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Sugar Pop was on one side of the spectrum. Andre was on the other side.
Okay.
He was actually in the original group, the Mechanical Devices.
Oh, okay.
And he taught me some things. I met him for a short while at the competition. They took third place at that competition. If you remember, Andre, it was San Diego, 1980.
Oh, nice.
And I was that little locking kid with the big afro, dressed all like a locker, and you guys were dressed all in like craftwork.
Oh, nice.
With the red shirts and the black ties.
Wow.
And they painted their face white.
Oh, that's crazy.
And yeah, there was three of them. I think it was Shelton Brooks was with you, and I don't remember the other guy's name, but there were three of you in that. So you probably remember that.
Nice.
Because you were the one that I actually watched your routine twice during the rehearsal and the actual competition.
Oh, nice.
And by memory, I brought it back to Hawaii with me, and I created a group called Mechanical Device. So that's how that happened.
Oh,
we all know the back history of the Mechanical Device was actually called the Black Resurgence, I think.
Black Resurgence?
Black Resurgence. Black Messengers.
Black Messengers.
They were called the Black Messengers, but they didn't, on the Gong Show, they didn't want them to use the name, or another show like that. They didn't want them to use that name. So that's where, I guess, I read in somewhere that they used Mechanical Devices.
Mechanical Devices.
And then so I wanted to do that.
Right.
So on the one end, I didn't know, I thought all popping was the same. I had no idea there was separate cabs, but we're not going to that right now because that's a whole different thing. I just want everyone to dance together, be together. If you're younger, learn everything as much as you can, because there's always more to learn after that.
Exactly. Always a student, right?
Always a student. I'm never, no matter what competitions I win or anything like that, we always try to keep everyone in the loop. You see the shy kids on the side, pull them off the wall, bring them into the floor, bring them into the cipher, make them feel part of what we're doing.
Right. Nice, man. That's what's up. Wow. So in the early days, I remember you guys practicing at the park. There's a whole lot of you guys in the crew. And there's like a Fernando, David, Reed, George. There's so much different guys in the mechanical devices. Who was the original mechanical device for your crew?
So there was my cousin Reed Kalepa.
Okay.
He was the actual first original. He started gathering Reed was the one that recruited everyone who wanted to do it. If you wanted to do, I was trying to find as many people as possible to teach them bigger. I wanted to go past 4 people.
Okay.
I wanted this large routine with
Right.
big groups of people to do that type of stuff. So
Nice.
it was originally my cousin Reed that started recruiting everyone. I can't remember mostly everyone's names, but there was Reed, Fernando, George,
Yeah,
Lopez. I think there was a guy named Tui Tui.
Tui? Oh, okay.
And David Iriani. What's
Yeah,
up, brother
David.
Dave? I never forget you, bro. But we did the first, there was an event at the Shell.
Okay.
And then later on, we went to the stadium, 1982, Poppers Convention.
Right. I remember that.
That's
man.
the one that
First place.
that we won. And one of the things that I saw later, it was the same thing, that locking routine. Everyone was doing those locking routine formations in popping,
Okay.
and we just stuck with the mechanical device style.
Yeah, your own concept.
What they
right?
were doing. See, they had rules. They told us the rules. They wanted to see everyone together. They actually showed us rules on what they were looking for. So I tried to follow what the judges wanted us to do, or
Okay.
what they expected to see from us.
Right.
Back then, every competition I went to, they actually jotted down. They had a list of what they wanted to see.
Wow.
So there was no, you could actually go off the list and say, okay, we needed everyone to be as a team. So that's why I didn't do any solos through the whole routine.
Okay.
Every popping group that whole day did one long line.
And then solos.
Everyone did their solo, and they were done, and
Right.
then everybody went off.
Right.
There were a couple that were slightly different. They did a little tricks. I remember Masterminds, they had a wall of guys, and
Right.
one of the guys went behind and pretended there were stairs, and he went underneath and came back up.
Oh, nice.
The leader of the Masterminds, the Funkiest Kind. But for the most part, we did the whole routine together until the very end. We did solos, and then we went off
Okay.
one at a time. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah, I
that kind of, we were together. We stood out from everyone else doing the same routine and the music. Everybody
Right.
had a specific type of Planet Rock or whatever
Right.
during that time.
And you
Some
guys
guys
had
had
Kraftwerk.
really fun, and we did Kraftwerk, Man Machine,
Yeah, that was awesome.
which was
man.
the actual music that I saw at the competition
Oh,
in San
nice.
Diego. That's all I knew. That's the only song I knew to do it with.
Right.
Was that routine, was that kind of style.
Nice, man. Yeah, I remember how clean and how so perfect everything was in that routine, and it was just crazy, man. It looked so animated, and yeah, it blew everybody's mind. I remember everyone was quiet. Then at the end, when you guys are finished, everybody's like, ah, they all screaming, They were I think they were just in awe, you know what I mean? They were freaking out like, what? It looks so animated. And they couldn't, they couldn't speak. But right after it finished, I mean, the way people reacted was like, man, it's like they saw Michael Jackson walk into the room or something. They're just screaming so loud.
Because I do all the other styles that were going on. People were popping like this. Poppin' Pete has a video from the beginning, and also Oakland Boogaloo people have a video that everyone was hitting
Right.
one hit at a time,
Yeah.
or everyone would hit, double hit, double hit, double hit. And I wanted to actually do it a little quicker than everyone else. I wanted to take it one step further,
Right.
but I slowed it down because a lot of the guys that I had taught, they didn't dance before at all.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I had to slow it all down for
Right.
that routine itself.
Nice. Good job, man. That was awesome.
That's how it came across.
Yeah, that was amazing. You guys took first place just like that. I mean, that was crazy.
It was a fun event. I just wanted to keep going, and it was pretty difficult at the time because we were growing up, we were kids, 15, 16 years old, It was hard to motivate anyone because you're in high school and
Right.
you know, you have everything else going on. Nobody sees that as an avenue of, you know, financial gain or just work. As far as entertainment-wise, it was still the beginning of what we see today in the media, with dancing and all.
Right.
I would consider myself, because I seen a lot of people from in the 70s. I seen a lot of their footage, you know, between Oakland, LA, Fresno, San Francisco, San Diego.
Right.
You know, so I'm considering myself a third generation of the actual beginning of popping.
Wow.
I'm like a third generation because I learned from Sugar Pop mostly. Whenever he would come back to visit, he would always come around, hang around, and show us what's going on in LA, what was happening in the scene.
Okay. Wow. Hey guys, sorry man, I had to cut the video right there because I'm gonna upload the third part. It's because my iPhone can only do 15 minutes at a time, so I had to splice that video in half, and then so that's gonna be the rest of that interview is gonna be on the part 3, and then I'm gonna upload the dancing footage on part 4. All right, so bear with me. Sorry guys, it's taking a little while to do this, but I just got to do it that way with the iPhone right now, and then the regular other uploads for the other videos, like I said, it starts on Monday. All right, so stay tuned.